Australia is undoubtedly home to some of the most unique and beautiful places in the world. With all of this in our backyard, we as Australians get to enjoy a deep connection with the great outdoors. But the reality is, these places are under serious threat from climate change.
The place I love is the Daintree Forest.
Kakadu is the place that I love, and it's the place that I met the person that I love. The memories of Kakadu will be with us for the rest of our lives.
I'm always in awe of nature.
Nature motivates me and gives me an energy. You know, it's a powerful force of great motivation.
It's just so precious and we're just so lucky.
The place that I love is Mary Beach in New South Wales.
Life, you know, without the range of mountains or trees, the birds, just can't imagine a life without it.
These are the places we need to protect. These are the places we love. The Australian bush is central to our cultural identity, and it has long been a source of creative inspiration and a deep connection to country. With temperatures continuing to rise, we are seeing an increase in the frequency and intensity of bushfires, threatening habitats, endangering vulnerable species, and changing the very nature of the bush we hold so dear. Neighbours star Carla Bonner has a special connection to the bush, and I spoke with her about the impacts of climate change on her beloved Dandenong Ranges.
It is the perfect place to raise your kids. It's full of fresh air and trees.
Have you had many opportunities to talk about your concern about climate change?
You know what, to be honest, it's not something that I've really spent a lot of time learning about, but once I've opened my eyes and I've really looked at what is going on, it's very confronting. And when you think about the prediction by 2050, a quarter of Earth's species will be extinct, and this is stuff that my kids' will be facing, it's really scary.
As a mother, what does that mean to you?
I can't bear the thought of the Dandenong Ranges not being a place for my boys to call home anymore. It's really important to me that we do our part to keep the ranges beautiful and healthy.
Someone who shares Carla's concerns for the health of the bush is the President of Bushwalking Australia, Chris Towers.
Being out in nature is just so incredibly important for your physical well-being, but more and more it's about your mental well-being and your connectedness.
Have you seen any changes in your environment over the years?
Absolutely, I've noticed change. I can't remember the last time we had a wet day walking on the high plains in January. Back in the 80s, every weekend you'd have 1 or 2 wet days.
What is your vision of what you would like to see people doing?
They can get out there and experience the environment and get to understand and appreciate that will in turn change their behaviour, so that when they get back home into their everyday lives, that bush experience makes them think more about what they're doing and the impact that they're having on their environment or the bigger picture, the world environment.
What do you love so much about where you live?
Sometimes I can walk out from my office and almost swoon from the beauty of Tasmania, but to go into the wilderness in Tasmania is life-changing, and you really never want to let go of those things. Science has given me a way of connecting to use Aboriginal English, to country. And the more you connect to country, the more country connects to you, and you end up with a custodial responsibility to country. You care deeply about country.
On Christmas Day 2015, a large bushfire raged across Victoria's surf coast, in some places burning right down to the sea. David and I took the journey along the Great Ocean Road to Wye River to inspect the damage to the landscape.
But we have a problem because this vegetation is adapted to being burnt, and it will recover, but it'll probably recover in a way to make it even more flammable, and the likelihood of more destructive fires is increasing every year because of the warming of the planet. Yeah, bushfires affect very animals and bushfires burn down communities, and that's generally the focus, but bushfires have much bigger effects on us. They affect our food supply because it can burn into farmland, it affects our water supply, it affects our air supply, loss of infrastructure, roads getting washed away by severe erosion events. We have to stabilise our climate.
What is the best example you're seeing in people of what they're doing to take action against climate change?
They're beginning to think about the way they're using energy, and the uptake of solar is fantastic. More changes in the way we use public transport, using alternatives to cars in cities, sustainable and viable. So I'm optimistic, but I guess I'm impatient.
As Australians, we have the opportunity to enjoy some of the most breathtaking coastlines and expansive beaches. Whether it's a family holiday or a sunrise surf, our love of the coast has become infused in our Aussie way of life. But at the current rate of global warming, sea level rise will increase events of coastal flooding and erosion, posing a serious threat to the beaches and the coastal cities we love. Guys, we've managed to come down here on such a perfect summer's day. How does it feel to be able to come to work and this is your office?
Every part of this beach and working on it is every part of me. It's the happiness that I bring home to my wife and my baby. It's the happiness that's in my heart from catching a wave to the shore. It really is that feeling of, wow, I'm on the most iconic beach in the world, and we get to sit down here and, be part of this every day.
I still get blown away by Sydney. I always sort of maybe thought there was a better place than here. I guess you always think the grass is always greener. And coming back after years and years of travelling, every day I'm like, you know what? We're really lucky here. It's definitely one of the best places on earth.
Well, Bondi is an extraordinary place. I mean, it's an iconic beach for Australia and one of the top iconic beaches of the world. A lot of the heat from the atmosphere is going into the oceans, it's being stored in the oceans. Now, the heating of the oceans helps the sea level to rise. But that's only one component. One of the most critical aspects of climate change along the east coast of Australia is the extent to which storms will change in their intensity over time. Bondi is tough. But if sea level starts to rise at an accelerating rate and those storms come in at more intensity and more frequently, then Bondi's toughness will be tested.
With the test of climate change before us, we can look towards those who are drawing on their connection to nature to inspire action.
Climate change is happening. It's the greatest environmental and social and economic threat of our time.
What are some really simple things that we can adopt in our life that do take that climate change action?
Be the ones that are at the forefront of taking action and bringing people with them. Talking to people about what you think are the issues about climate change, and having politicians in your local area understand that you care about this issue. You want policies that really have progressive action on climate change. A healthy environment underpins everything. We need a healthy environment for our air, our water, our livability. We need to respect nature and ensure that we're minimising our impact.
This is obviously a place that you both have such an incredible connection with and a love for. How long have you been living in this area for?
I came to this particular area here when I was about a year old and have lived here ever since. It's not the best looking beach, it's ours. The blackfellas, they couldn't care less whether it was a bunch of rocks like this or a beautiful turf area. All has the same value. This is my country. It's not just, that's a block of dirt and what can it bring me? You've got this innate understanding and connection to country, to the animals and everything in it.
What is it inside you that allows you to push through and keep trying your hardest to get that message across?
I think it comes back to the connection with the land. Not a lot of people actually take their time out during the day and just have a look at the ground that they're standing on and soak it up. The land that they're walking around on is alive. It does breathe just as much as what they do. A lot of people don't realise how good we have it. If there isn't a change now, you know, there's not going to be a lot left.
Go back, go back, go back. Cast! Yeah, watch it coming, guys! Watch it coming, guys! Big one! Yay! Woo! We love seafood. It's a seafood country. Every Australian loves a little bit of crispy skin barramundi or nice calamari, salt and pepper. Every menu of Australia's got it. Places like Great Barrier Reef. You go 6 years ago when I could just see the coral trout in the reef, amazing sizes. You could go fishing, drop the line and catch a trout within 3 seconds. Slowly, we're losing that. It's quite funny. I'm just a very humble chef and I don't understand all these scientists. You know, facts, facts, facts. I don't understand all that. But for me, my simple what I see every day since the last 10 years, that we don't put a stop in this, we won't be able to enjoy it. And that's very bad. That's really terrible. And just squeeze the planet like a lemon until there's not one drop of juice left. That's not nice, isn't it?
It's not nice. And it's not nice for our kids and our kids' kids.
To do something for a change, you need a lot of voices, quite loud. 7 million people together make a lot of noise.
When they switch off their lights for Earth Hour.
I know, imagine switching off the lights for 1 hour. How exciting. So we stop squeezing the lemon, maybe the lemon get a little bit of juice back. And we can enjoy it just in a smaller portion.
The Great Barrier Reef is one of our most iconic natural environments, and it's an integral part to Australia's marine ecosystem. But our beloved reef is under a lot of pressure from the effects of climate change. So for you, can you tell me a place that you love?
A place that I love is Heron Island because I came here and I dove the Great Barrier Reef for the first time and that was magical. I was lucky to study the environment that I love and to try and maybe with my science hope to preserve it for the future.
So in the last 8 years of you working on Heron Island, have you noticed any changes to the coral in the reef?
So we're basically seeing that the coral cover is decreasing significantly.
How does temperature rise affect coral?
So if you go 2 degrees, 3 degrees, 4 degrees above what a coral usually gets temperature-wise, you're very likely to see bleaching. For Queensland, for example, it would be tragic for the livelihood, the income of people. I mean, it's billions that we make in tourism. Also, reefs are a source of protein. You'll have no coral reefs to sustain fish populations. We're going to lose tourism and overall something that is World Heritage. So that's very sad and a huge impact.
Christine, where is the place that you love?
The place I love is Heron Island. It's such a beautiful privilege to be able to be working on marine turtles.
Now, turtles are under threat from climate change. Can you talk me through some of the threats that turtles face?
There's an optimal temperature for hatchlings and the eggs in the nest to be able to develop, and that's between 25 and 30 degrees. Now, if that changes with a 2 degrees rise in temperature, which is predicted, that can have catastrophic effects on those turtles, and the hatchlings in those nests will actually die.
It's about 2 a.m. at the moment, but the thing that's brought us out in the middle of the night is that the female turtles are actually going to come up on the beach and they'll go up into the dunes and dig their nests and start laying their eggs.
You think of a green turtle, on average they lay around 120 eggs.
My goodness.
And so if you multiply that out within a season, and only 1 in 1,000 actually survives to come back to its feeding ground to then be a big mummy turtle itself and actually come into the nest to breed, the odds are stacked up against them. So the threats that they face, it's really important that we reduce as many of those as possible. And with climate change, there's a big bowling ball rolling towards them. That may be their tipping point. If they can't build up enough resilience to be able to deal with all the other threats that are happening.
A nest emerged here, so the little hatchlings have hatched out of the shell, dug their way up and have emerged. You can see that there is one complete egg shell. So from out of that, a little live hatchling was produced. From this nest, we got 84 successful hatchlings out of it.
There's some busy turtles.
We dig up a certain number of these nests along the beach so that we've got a relative idea of what the whole beach is producing as a whole for the season. And then we can compare that to past seasons and see if there's any significant change with regards to climate.
Well, this little guy is trying to make his way to the ocean. We're just trying to make sure that none of the birds get him. He was the underdog. Everyone was saying that he might be a little bit too small, not strong enough. So we're going to prove them wrong. There we go. So close. Have a little rest. A little breather before you have to go for a big swim. A lot of seagulls swarming around at the moment. So, oh. There you go. Hey! Get out of it. It's not easy for them. Well, that's a special experience nonetheless. The Great Barrier Reef is a precious but fragile part of the world. What does the future hold for this part of Australia?
So I'd love to see people into the future understand that we are part of the system. The turtles are part of the system. We're just another piece in the puzzle. And we can't be the people who are actually changing it for our wildlife. We need to be there to protect the wildlife.
Going carbon neutral used to be beyond reach, but today, choosing a sustainable lifestyle is not only achievable, it makes good economic sense. I drove down to Cape Patterson in Victoria to look at a fully sustainable residential project.
This place looks fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Come for a walk through.
Brendan, this is absolutely beautiful. Tell me about the running costs of a house like this.
So this house is beautifully designed to have great comfort levels and really low running costs. The house will cost less than $500 a year to run, compared to a conventional family house of the same size, which will cost around $3,000 a year to run. This house is net zero carbon or carbon neutral, plantation timbers, low carbon concrete, rammed earth walls. It generates a surplus of clean energy, and what do you do with that clean energy? Well, you can put it into an electric vehicle. So the house has electric vehicle charge points. So through the use of clever design and these new systems, you can free yourself from fossil fuels. Australia needs really good practical examples of how to deal with climate change, and that's what's driven this project. I'm hoping within 10 years that we see hundreds of projects like what we're doing here at the Cape, with people living in houses that are carbon neutral, they're generating their own energy, they're running electric vehicles off the power of the sun, they're capturing their own water, and they're living lightly on the planet.
Being a father, you lead by example. And I guess the best example that I could lead for my daughter is by embracing renewable energy and by building a highly sustainable house, that it would leave a legacy for her and that she could build on that legacy.
And then for your daughter, not only is she growing up in a world where we are looking after our environment, but one that's more economically viable for her as well.
Renewable energy is here now, it's cheap and affordable, and it makes great economic sense to invest in those new technologies. We're in uncharted waters at the moment, and I would like to think that my daughter would look back and go, you know, well done, Dad, you put your hand up, you made some contribution to securing her future.
We have an opportunity before us, an opportunity to join together in the move towards a sustainable future. Together, we can ensure that our future generations experience the same outdoor lifestyle and connection to the places we love.
Humans are fantastic at stepping up to problems and solving problems. So what we need to do is to say, okay, we're in a difficult place, let's get smart, let's solve the problem.
We have the best access to wind and solar and tidal and all the solutions to climate change. So what's stopping us protecting this great country we live in?
If we can stop that increase in global warming, we can still appreciate and love what we have now and enjoy the places we love.
Switch off.
Switch off.
Switch off.
Switch off.
Switch off.
Switch off. Switch off.
Switch off.
This Earth Hour, switch off.
Switch off.
Switch off.
Switch off.
Switch off.
For the places we love.
For the places we love.
For the places we love.
For the places
We love. For the places
We love.
For the places we love.
Go on, switch off.